and welcome to a series of videos about how to repair a Philips CD555 Sound Machine. You probably know my blog and website. At the moment it's a little bit silent because I have problems with my arm and cannot use the computer quite well. So I thought by myself this would be a good time to start with videos about my resurrection project of the sound machine. What can you expect from this series of videos? We'll have a look at the sound machine, how we can repair it, getting some tips about modification and so on. If you expect something like electrical shocks, fire or explosions, that might not be the right channel for you. It's nothing planned like that, although we don't know what might happen in the future. Then, as I said, it's all about the Philips CD555 Sound Machine, produced by Philips in the years 1985 to 1986. According to a Philips catalog, this was Philips' first portable sound machine with a CD player. And it weighs about 10 kilos without batteries. And there's no space for batteries. You need an additional battery pack which adds another 13 kilos. Makes it 23 kilos for a portable sound machine. That might not be portable anymore. It might be portable for Schwarzenegger, but definitely not for me. Why is it so heavy? Because it has also speakers made out of wood. And I have a special relationship with this sound machine. You probably all know what you bought with your first self-earned money. And in my case, it was this sound machine. It was 1986 and I started my first job in a very small shop. And I had to pass by the sound machine at least twice a day. I was really fascinated from the CD player, from the really quick Autoreverse cassette deck, and how it looked like. And it still looks amazing, and the sound is absolutely excellent. The only problem was that it was really quite expensive. If we consider the inflation, that would be nowadays 1,500 euros. So that's a lot. And of course, my salary was way less and I had to save my money for more than half a year to be able to buy the shop floor model, which was reduced by 50%. And I was quite happy for about a year when it then broke and there was no warranty left. So I had to pay for getting it repaired. But I haven't had any money left, so, well, I thought by myself, I can do this. I know those things. And it ended up, as you might expect, disassembled in some plastic bags in the basement. My parents threw them away a couple of years later, so my machine is already gone. And I found another one on a flea market, or let's say, to be more precise, I have now 3 of them. All of them were not working. So this is unit number 1, which is basically working, more or less. There are some drawbacks at the moment, and still a lot of things to do. It has the original capacitors inside, so it's really in its original state. Just repaired that CD player is working and cassette is working. And I got the second unit already repaired and also modified with new high quality capacitors, with new operation amplifiers and with Bluetooth module. And I had also to replace the tape deck CPU because that was toasted at this machine. And there's a third unit which I haven't touched right now. So we're going to have a look at it and repair it together. And when I repair this machine, I will dive more into details what was the issues with all the other machines, because the unit number 2 was really challenging. A lot of things were broken and I think it acted as a donor for someone. So there was every panel was broken, not working. But it's back alive. And as I said, we'll have a look at the third unit together. We will probably make it gear down, so completely disassemble everything which is necessary if we want to exchange the capacitors and I recommend to replace them since they're all dried out and they need replacement, especially the original Philips, the light blue Philips that are included. So in this first episode I will show you a little bit more about the features of this device, and we're going to start with music which fits and describes perfectly what we are doing here. Okay, then let's have a look at the features of the Sound Machine. Switch it on. We do have a 5-band equalizer, microphone volume control, balance slider, also the volume slider. It has a 4-band tuner, phono, line-in, cassette and CD selectors for the source. There's also fine-tuning for the tuner to improve the stereo sound. The cassette deck, as I said, is completely controlled by a microcontroller, which is very fast. So you can play. So this is really fast, and this has music search. That means you can jump from one track to another one. And you can also program the cassette, and then it behaves like a CD player. You can program to playback track 2, 4, 5 and 8 for instance. But it only supports up to 20 tracks and one side of the tape. It supports Dolby Noise Reduction B. We have a counter, very common back those days. A micro and a phone output. A nice LCD display displaying the states of the cassette deck, what we're going to do. There is a mute button. It is used to create silence on the tape. As I said, it has music search, and this only works if there is a 4-second silence between the tracks on a tape. So that's why you can use the mute button for. There are also several record modes available, and one of the record modes supports a synchronized copy of a CD, and in this case it automatically adds a 4-second silence on the tape between the tracks. The CD player, as I said, is the same as the Philips CD150. Philips is using the CDM2 mechanics and controllers in the release 29. There are two TDA 1540p digital analog converters included. Back in the 80s, the CD150 was known as a reference class. So that's a quite good CD player. Let's start the track. Well, this gives me another copyright claim at YouTube, but hopefully you can hear that it has an excellent sound. You can also switch between time and track. The functions of a CD player back in the 80s were a little bit limited compared to nowadays CD players. But this was one of the first series. There were only Philips CD100, 104 and those things out, and the CD150 was already the next one. So that's quite a good mechanic. It has a huge drawback, and I will show you this when we go into repair unit 3. Then two-way speakers, each with 25 watts, sums up to 50 watts music. A grip to carry the sound machine. As I said, 23 kilos with batteries. Oh, that's a lot. Let's have a look at the rear side. On the rear side there should be the product label, which is missing at this machine. The power plug. There might be some releases out there with a voltage switch here. Those connectors are all for the battery pack, so it connects here and there are some notches and a switch to enable the battery pack. Almost the whole rear side consists of a metal plate which acts as a cooling plate and is really necessary because the machine is getting very hot. We have the connectors for the speakers. I have no idea how they are called. Maybe you know it. If you know it, just drop a comment. They're very common in the 80s. There's also a phono ground, the line out, a line in, and the phono in. And here is a plug for the antenna. Okay, that's basically all for this episode. Next time I will show you unit number 2. I will explain all the modifications and what is so different with the tape deck CPU, my replacement CPU for the toasted microcontroller here. So thank you for watching. See you next time. Cheers!